Bonjour, bonjour. My name is Faye. Je m'appelle Faye. I would like to thank you for embarking on this journey to learn French with me. My primary objective is to simplify your learning experience so that you can have meaningful conversations about yourself, your life, and your daily routine. Prêt à commencer? Are you ready to start? On y va. Let's go. First of all, we will begin with les présentations. Les présentations means introductions in French. Présentation. Répétez. Répétez means repeat. Les présentations. In French, there are two ways of greeting someone. We have the formal way and we have the informal way. So which is the formal? We use comment allez-vous? But before you say comment allez-vous, obviously you have to say hello, which is one word that we all know, and that is bonjour. Exactly, you got that right. So let's start off with bonjour. When do you use bonjour? You use bonjour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. in the evening. Thereafter, you would use bonsoir, which means good evening. And how do you say goodbye? You say au revoir. And now, let's go straight to how are you? The formal way of saying how are you in French is comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? This is the question that you will hear when you find yourself in a formal setting. That would be in an office or a conference hall or with someone that you're meeting for the very first time. You would say, comment allez-vous? And the response would be, je vais bien, merci. Je vais bien, merci. And if you want that conversation to continue, you would ask, et vous? Et vous? Et vous means and you, which I think is very polite. So let's take it again. Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? Another phrase that you can use to say how are you is vous allez bien. Vous allez bien is also very formal but in a very relaxed manner. So if you do find yourself in France, what you would actually hear on the streets would be vous allez bien, which also means how are you? And your response would be je vais bien, merci. And now let's go to another way of asking how are you in French. Now this one is one that I'm sure that everybody is familiar with, which is comment ça va? Comment ça va? And your response would be ça va bien, merci. If you want to continue that conversation, you would say et toi? Let's take that again. Comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Et toi? Oui, ça va bien, which means yes, I'm fine, thank you. Another word, another phrase that you can use to ask how are you is tu vas bien, tu. Remember that in our former greeting we used vous. Vous is the formal way of saying you in French. And tu is the informal way of saying you. You would use tu with your friends, with some of your family members, because of course you're familiar with who they are. Now please note that in French, you never move to the tu form if you have begun using vous with someone except the person says, oh, let's use tu. And they would say, on se tutoie, on se tutoie, which means that, let's get informal. and then you can switch to tu. But we'll talk about that much later. Now, I want you to listen to this complete conversation of how to say how are you and fine using just one word or maybe two words. Are you ready? Bonjour. Ça va? Ça va? Ça va? Ça va. Did you get it? And now we have come to the end of greetings in French. Don't forget to look at the PDF for answers to the questions on this topic. See you. Au revoir.